Hey guys, it's Marcy, the Cranky Crafter. It's Fodder Friday. We did it. We made it to another Friday. This Friday, we're going to be back with the watercolors, and we're going to be doing leaves. So, if you've been watching my channel, you know that I was following along with Scrimping Mommy's Mixed Media Challenge. And that was where she provided you very generously with different images and sometimes background papers, and you could use those to make a spread in an art journal, or however you wanted to use them. And that one finished up, and she has very graciously offered us another challenge. So this would be Mixed Media Challenge number 2, but she's not providing any images this time. So part of what she wants you to do is to basically make your own images, or at least find your own images. And she gives you a color palette that she wants you to use. I can go more into the details of the challenge when I actually put it together. But for this Fodder Friday, we're just going to be making leaves because that's one of the prompts in the challenge that she presented us. And she did provide us, let's see if you can see it, color palette that she wants us to use. She doesn't want us to deviate from that. Like no adding any other colors, and they don't have to be exact. She said they could be, shades of these colors, but basically staying within this palette that she's given us. And then she did give like an image just for inspiration. So I've decided to do leaves, and I've done leaves before. We've done leaves before, but we did smaller ones. This time we're gonna do larger ones, because you can use the larger ones. Well, I suppose if you had gigantic flowers, you could use these, but most often you use these with, or solely as like the focal point of your, whatever it is you're gonna make. And she hasn't given a specific like platform that she wants you to do the challenge with, like say a journal or an art tag or whatever. So I haven't decided yet what I'm going to do with it, but right now we're just going to do the leaves because we can use the leaves in any project. So I kind of have a palette pre-mixed over here in my little handy dandy egg holder. That's what it actually is. My girlfriend got it for me when she was traveling, but she said that she thought it would go perfectly to put watercolors in, and it does. So I've kind of done a little bit of a swatch of the colors that we will potentially be using. I might just do, I don't know, this dark purple. It's not as dark as on here because I really didn't want something that dark when I was making the leaves. It might be nice to embellish with something like that, but for the background, like for the more of the color, I didn't really want something that dark. So, well, we're gonna try with these 3, and they're not identical, like I said. They're just a variation of the palette that she's given us. So I'm gonna start with a 10. This one is actually a long round, which is fantastic for making leaves because it comes to a like super fine point. My girlfriend also gifted me this when we went to the art store last time. I know. I have really great girlfriends. I also had a girlfriend that sent me like 6 huge bars of dark chocolate in the mail. So yeah, there's that. So we've done the smaller leaves, and You guys have done those with us, hopefully. If you haven't, check out the video. This is almost going to be the same, except at a larger scale. So you're going to want to wet your brush and then get into your paint. I think I'm going to start with like the yellow color. There are numbers on this palette that she's given. I don't really know what those refer to be honest. And you wouldn't even have to use watercolors for making your leaves. You could use acrylics if you wanted to, and maybe that's what they refer to. I have no idea. We're going with this because this is what I enjoy. So I'm gonna get some paint on. And then, do you remember when we spoke last time about the point belly point? So when you make a leaf, you really kind of start at the point and then press down into the belly and come back up on the point. For this particular one, because these are so large, you start at the point and you go to the belly, but you don't really have to come to a fine point again if you don't want to, because it's gonna, you know, you're gonna make a stem at the end. So it's not as, you'll see it's not as important that you come to another point. Not like any of this is, you know, extremely important if it happens or it doesn't, because it really is however you enjoy it. But since it's such a larger surface area, it's, you know, we're going to have to color it in, paint it in, whatever you want to say. So we're going to start with our point and then go to the belly. And you see how I didn't come back to a point because I know that we're going to have to basically finish this off since it's a larger leaf. And you can do that little stem however you'd like. In fact, if you don't want to paint it on, you could sketch it on when you come in and do your outline. And that would be totally fine too. Now, it is extremely hot here today, so my paints are going to dry even faster than normal. So I'm going to try to drop in some pink if it will let me. Barely. Ugh, the challenges of living in the desert. We'll see what happens with that. Okay, so the next one I'll just start in pink. So you're going to start your point, belly, and then kind of just come down to, let's say, a half point. And you don't have to color it all in. You see how there's that fine line right there? White line? I think that's kind of cool. Like, I like the look of that. So I'm trying to keep this damp again so that I can add in some more color. But it's drying really fast. I'm just gonna come in with some of this purple and see what happens. Yeah, it's good. It's all right. I don't know that I would want it as a whole leaf, to be honest, like I said before. I mean, it's a very pretty color. I suppose, I mean, let's try one. Let's just do it before I talk myself out of it. So point, and then come down, and then I usually grab some more paint. Point, belly, point. I mean, it's a very pretty color, don't get me wrong. But it's definitely not, I don't think we could really drop anything into that. You know, like these other ones, since they're lighter, you can see where you've dropped in, excuse me, different color. Okay, let's go back to the yellow. So you're like point belly. I'm just saying point belly because I'm not really bringing it back to another point at the end. I'm kind of making that up as I get there. And you see how I didn't even fill out the top bit of that? You can leave it totally like that. These are, you know, these are basically however you want them to be. I have been sneezing 857 times today. No joke. It's 92 out, I think, right now. Yeah, it's a little warm out there. I went out and harvested the rest of my bok choy and a head of lettuce, and I grabbed 2 peas off the vine, and they were very yummy. They're not quite all the way ready yet. Like, I think the peas could be more plump. Do you guys like that word, plump? I've always liked that word. I don't know why. I think I might be able to fit, oh, maybe 2 more on here, and then we can dry and cut. Yeah. Should I do it another pink one? For Keith. I'm gonna go this way. I think you can still see. We'll do another pink one just because that's what I have on my brush. This one might be a little slender. And you know, if you're not totally satisfied with like whatever shape you end up with, don't forget you can always cut to make it how you want it, you know, because these are going to be cut out, at least for this project. So if you wanted to, you know, cut a piece off that maybe went a little bit haywire or whatever. And I think we'll do another yellow one. Let's see. I'll close that. I think you're still in. So point, belly. This has a little bit of pink now in it because look at my water. It is no longer white. And you know what? If I were using both my waters, I wouldn't have an issue with it all being pink like that because I could draw from my clear one. But am I doing that? No. No, I am not. For some reason, I have an aversion to using both of my waters. And the weird thing is, okay, I have it right here. It's not like I'm like, oh no, I don't have anything. No, it's here. I have it. It's right here. All right, we can add a little bit of this. Instead of dropping it in, I'm kind of, you know, brushing making lines of the separate color that I'm adding in. That's really just a personal preference. Because you can see on this one, what is that? This one we kind of dropped it in and it almost makes little like starbursts. Like this one, we did the same. Whereas this one and this one, we kind of just made brush strokes with it. All right, I'm going to pause you so that we can dry. Okay, so now is where we can come in and embellish them. And you can see, you can do it however you want. Like this one has little gold lines plus like little black spots. And then we've outlined around the whole thing. This one just has gold. And these are all lines. I mean, it's endless. This one is white. And this has lines and dots. But you could do it, we can do it however we want. You can use whatever color you want. Black and white was also colors that she said that you could use to add to any of your artwork. So that's good because that's what we usually do. Got my trusty pen, 0.1, and I think we'll also use a gold Uniball Signo. Maybe a white. It can be a little bit curmudgeonly sometimes, so we'll see how that goes. So now really we just want to add stuff in. I think I'll start with the black. And you guys in frame? Yeah. I usually will do like my designs first before I do my outline. I don't think it really makes a difference. For some reason, that's just what I usually tend to do. So we can do something like this. And then I prefer to do pretty loose around. And I also kind of like to go twice. You don't have to go twice. I kind of enjoy going twice. Let's see, I think for that one, I might like to see if we can do some white. We'll see if it's gonna cooperate. Oh yeah. I think all of this is fun, obviously, but I really enjoy the embellishments. I don't think I did 2 on this one. And you can make it as close to the color as you want. I enjoy having some white around, but you don't have to do that. You do it how you want to do it. I think for this one, I'm going to come in with the larger gold one. And just do some dots like that. Do you guys have big plans for the weekend? I don't. I'm not making this on actual Friday, so I'm trying to think like, what do we have coming up? But I think this weekend we don't have a lot. It's after that it starts getting a little bit hectic, because we have to go pick the kid up from school. Got this black Posca pen. The possibilities are quite literally endless with how you can do these. You don't have to do them at all like I'm doing them. And you could come back in with colored pencils if you wanted. You don't have to even use Posca pens or anything. Let's see. I really like this one with the white, like with the paper still showing through. I think that's fun. Maybe we'll do black and white on this one. Yeah, that's cute. I have a little free library outside. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of those before. I think they're a worldwide thing. But basically it's like a sharing library. So you put books in and people come and can take a book, and then the premise is they're supposed to leave a book. There's not many people that leave books, to be honest. So I'm always refilling, and I just had to go out and refill the kids section because it had dwindled down to almost zero things. And you never know, what somebody is gonna want, or like, geez, I can't even see. Okay. Like what you think people will take is not necessarily what they take, and so it's just a guessing game. But it's fun to see the kids out there looking through them and, talking about it and all that kind of stuff. What do we want to do on this one? Maybe a darker one. Yeah, I'm not sure I like that, but it's there. It is there. It's a little bit drastic, in my opinion. Maybe I should add something else in there. Like white. Like tone it down. Simmer down. Sometimes you have to tell your art to do that. Is that just me that does that? Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. That helped. That helped, I think. We have one more, you guys. Sometimes my brain runs out of ideas on what to do. How about we use gold in this one? Haven't really done that yet. We can do, yeah. It kind of reminds me of, you know, those great big, like, holiday lights that you can hang on your tree or your house or whatever. That's what it makes me think of. I'm sure when you guys do this, you'll think of a bajillion ways to embellish that I have not used at all. And that's the great thing about it, is everybody does it differently. Okay, let's cut some of these out. That one got a little bit close. A little close. If you wanted to come back in, you could come back in and do splatters if you like that. Now, I kind of leave a little bit of white. I think that's called like a kiss cut. But if you don't like that, you don't have to. Yeah, that one was quite close. And then when it comes time to make something for the challenge, hopefully these all, or some of them, will play well together so that we can use them. Otherwise, I'll have to make a few more before we do that bit. I was thinking maybe I could do art tags. They're like the perfect amount of, the perfect size, you know, space-wise. And then that would give us some projects to do on Art Tag Tuesday. I didn't forget about it. If I did forget about it, I would have pretended that I didn't. Not really. I would have been honest and said that my brain did not remember. But that means that this will probably, the actual finishing of the challenge won't happen until the following week. Because this will come on a Friday, and then we'll have to do something for that following Tuesday if I choose to do the tags. Okay, that's what we have. Let's see. Yeah, I'm still not crazy about that one. It's just kind of in your face a little bit. Then we got these little guys. But I think Guess we only did one of the purple ones, didn't we? So it's not exact. Can you see that? But I think it's pretty darn close. So we'll figure that part out when we get there. So yeah, hopefully you guys will try these out. They're really just larger versions of the smaller ones that we did before. And totally fun project for, especially if you're a beginner. I mean, it's fun for anybody, but especially if you're a beginner, because there's not too many brush strokes with it. And so you can kind of just start learning how to use your brush and how to use your water and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, hopefully you guys give it a try, and we'll see you next time.